Hello, welcome to the Augmentation of Man. I'm Renee Miller.
I'm Kent. We are going to continue the atmospheric conditions
The
with
predictions,
predictions with this video. This is the atmospheric conditions part two.
and just to back up, and for those who didn't see the first one, these are the predictions that Kent received while in meditation from our spiritual guides called the ancients. And these are ancient mentors of the Creator, not human beings. So they've given us predictions for all these earth changes, and they start in the atmosphere. If you didn't see the last video we did, we recommend you go back after this one and take a look at that one because it's going to fill in some of the gaps.
Okay, with that, let's begin to go into the changes that are coming or already happening.
And
So,
also
we like,
some of the things that man has done to contribute to some
yeah,
of the imbalances in
we,
the atmosphere.
we would like to start with high frequency active and a Royal Research Program, HARP. It's a high frequency emitter that excites areas in the ionosphere for research purposes. Now, the Air Force transferred a study to the University of Alaska in 2015.
Yeah.
Well, okay,
So the University of Alaska has assumed the research at HARP, and HARP is not the only
no, different ones around the world.
station that's exciting the ions in the ionosphere for research purposes and what that does. But what we have been told by our spiritual guides is that this technology is causing a disturbance in the ionosphere, of course, but that it reaches all the way out to the Van Allen belt, and it is manipulating the magnetic field, causing a shift in the cosmic field, and
Like
it
that change.
also is exciting volcanic activity. And what we covered in the last video is how that works is when, for example, you have a solar flare, which acts in a similar manner, exciting the ionosphere. That warps the magnetic field, causes the distortion, I should say, in the magnetic field that interacts with Earth's iron core and gets it churned up. And that friction starts to cause more volcanic activity
And earthquakes.
and earthquakes. And so the HARP, we're being told, is going to have a kind of a crescendo effect where it's going to start causing a lot more volcanic activity to erupt over the surface of the
So
earth.
human race has the advancements in technology and the development of these advancements are creating somewhat of a problem that are not,
In the atmosphere.
and they may recognize it or they don't recognize it. We don't know, but it controls the atmosphere somewhat. Man has developed an advanced technology that creates a pulsating light that can be unrecognized by humans.
Mhm.
So this light and pulsating light actually control human thinking.
It kind of dumbs people down so that um, they're not questioning and they're distracted, I guess, in some way. We're not privy to exactly how this technology works, but our guides are telling us that man has developed this advanced technology and they're using it to manipulate thinking patterns of humanity.
Yeah.
And so we're going to go into a little bit later how to try to counteract this.
Yeah. So a global lightning event, which will culmination many things going on in the atmosphere, causing increased pressure The results will be in the shift in the electromagnetic field. It's creating chaos in the atmosphere and creating a very high wind. So it will trigger a magnetic pole shift, which is almost beginning now. And the movement in the subduction zones along our west coast of the United States. And so the Earth is going to, it feels like it's getting beat up.
Yeah. And so, just to kind of delve into that a little bit, they described that there is this disturbance coming from outside Earth's atmosphere. And it may be, and I don't know for sure because they described there's a supernova that is headed our way. So it may be the remnants of this supernova, I'm guessing. But this disturbance is going to create pressure on the atmosphere around Earth. So if you can imagine a disturbance coming in and it's putting pressure on the atmosphere,
which puts
and
pressure on the core.
And eventually what's going to happen is there's going to be a rupture in the atmosphere. So a hole in the atmosphere where it's going to be a pressure release valve. But in doing so, the air in the atmosphere is going to exit out this hole and create this wind that's going to be sucking from the earth, around the earth, up, out through the atmosphere.
For a short period, but yet it's still going to happen.
It's going to cause a lot of high winds, and that it's really going to tear up the surface of the earth. And then our guides told us to have, like if you've got a garden, have garden tools and things like that. So you may have to reconstruct your garden, and who knows what it's going to do to your roof. So just be prepared for that in whatever way you can prepare. And there's not a whole lot we can.
Yeah, the earth will just be not basically, but it'll heal itself.
Yeah.
There will be, that's finally interesting, there will be a period of less light on the planet. And hearing other channelers or visionaries, there is a period of darkness coming. Maybe that has to do with the same thing.
And the Bible mentioned.
Less light in the Bible
Yeah.
and various sources saying there's going to be
A period of less light. Yeah.
Or less light.
We weren't told how long it was going to last.
No, we weren't told it was going to be 1 day or 1 week or whatever. We were just told that there's going to be a period with less light.
And I imagine if you have all this atmospheric chaos within the gaseous atmosphere, you're going to have a lot of dust in the air. That is one very logical reason why you would have less light on the planet. Or if Bill Gates gets in control of the atmospheric reflection program, that could be a reason. God help us. Anyway, this is another prediction that we were given. And it's kind of interesting.
It said that in this time, the earth will be quarantined for a period of time. It didn't say how long, it just said for a period of time. Now, the governments, the astronauts, etc., will think it's coming from a hostile
stance
of an enemy outside of Earth, but it's not.
They're telling us it's not a hostile stance that they're taking, that they are only quarantining Earth because they have to correct the timeline.
That's right.
And we have no idea how that's going to, take place scientifically. But that's what they said, that they have to quarantine the Earth in order to correct the timeline.
Yeah. So a new moon, along with the older moon. Now, where this new moon is pulled from, it must be pulled from an orbit from another planet.
No,
I don't know.
They're saying it exists, but it must have a different orbit.
It seems like Well, that would be interesting if
It
it
may,
already
if
exists.
it's a longer elliptical orbit,
Yeah,
then
well,
maybe we
then we
weren't aware
have
of
two
it.
moons.
Yeah, yeah.
However, that will happen.
And so they're predicting that the axis, and we've mentioned this many times in our videos, that the axis will shift from the
Yeah,
22 and a
that's right.
half degrees to almost zero. We're also told
And that's going to change. It says in the Bible, new heavens and new earth. Well, of course, if the axis changes, what we look up is a new heaven. We'll see a new heaven.
we'll
And of
see
course,
all new
right, and a new earth
constellations.
is more water will cover the land in some places,
Mhm.
and land will rise
Everything will
above
be
the
different.
ocean, and everything will be different. Yeah.
Yeah, even man will be different. Also, they said that in the future that the Earth would come to a stop in its spin
In
and
reverse.
reverse, and that the sun will rise in the west. Now, in ancient pictographs, it was depicted that the sun rose in the west at one time, thousands of years ago.
Maybe even millions of years.
Yeah.
Much, much, much
But
beyond our
it is in
records.
pictographs. Yeah. And I think in some ancient writing, but I can't remember what it was offhand. So interesting. Now the change in the grid, there's a lot of talk about the grid, and I think few people really truly understand what the grid is. I think that it's easy to imagine some sort of geometrical pattern surrounding Earth,
with the parameters, etc.
but what we were told by the ancients is that this grid is like the banks of a river. So it holds, like if you think about the banks of a river, holds the river intact and keeps the water from dissipating out and flooding,
Normally.
and keeps the water directed towards, say, like the oceans. So the grid in the atmosphere, it's within the gases, and it holds the universal consciousness and that conscious energy intact in a network that travels throughout the universe that we have the ability to tap into. Now there's different networks. There's not just one network, and they're for various levels of understanding.
Right.
Our network for our level of understanding is called the neuronet. And the reason why they call it the neuronet is it works a lot like our nervous system and how it propagates that energy. So this grid is going to be strengthened, and that's through all these atmospheric changes. And when it does that, that's going to be in conjunction with our own genetic change, where we have access to this universal knowledge
Well, we'll have
much easier.
somewhat access to the universal neural net, which is different than ours. But having that access will come about with a DNA change.
Right.
So there's going to be far fewer humans on this planet.
But we're going to have abilities like we've never had before.
Yeah.
So very exciting time. And as we mentioned in the previous video on the atmospheric changes, is that the reason why there's not going to be as many humans on the planet is because, one, they either chose not to go through these changes at this time, or two, they're just simply not ready for the new learning at a higher level. You have to be able to be at a place in your spiritual development to be able to understand the new learning that's going to come forward.
So with that, we said some years ago there's going to be colors in the galactic field that's going to change. It's colors we didn't realize were there.
Mhm.
And that's going to be interesting. So just recently, NASA has been astounded by new discoveries in colors in the universe outside of
And
what we could see before.
we were told previously that NASA would be astounded by
Yeah.
these changes and these different colors that
Many things that I had gotten
will
some
come
years
forward.
ago now being discovered. It's
Yeah.
interesting.
So the changes in the atmospheric gases and the electromagnetic field will have an effect on our bodies. And so this, they said that this warping of the electromagnetic field, our bodies will kind of attune to that, and it'll have a stretching effect on the DNA. So most people think of DNA as like the spiral ladder, but it's not stretched out like that. It's all folded and, you know, crumpled up into this ball. And so the individual rungs are not expressed. The DNA on that rung is not expressed unless it has a little protein marker on there that basically turns it on. It's like a switch. And if that protein marker is not on that rung of the DNA, then the DNA exists, but it is not being expressed. It's not turned on. So they said that we are in this point of time where we have been accelerated. We are being manipulated from outside Earth, and our development has been accelerated. And what has happened is it caused an effect of humanity having technology, advanced technology, but our level of wisdom has not kept up with that technology.
That's right.
So here you have some very powerful technology in the hands of a child, basically.
Yeah,
And
and the child doesn't know what they really have, what the value of that technology.
yeah, and the way they described it is that man only reacts to the immediate future and doesn't see down the pathways, the various pathways that that technology can take us. And so then it puts the earth at peril and at
Puts
risk.
humanity at peril.
And humanity. But earth is more important for the preservation, according to outside entities, than humanity. We're a very young race, and we're very naive, to put it nicely.
Yeah.
And so they said that
I wouldn't call it naive, but that's
at this period of time that they have to turn on all relevant DNA in order to keep humanity from destroying the planet.
Or destroying themselves and the planet.
Yeah. And it's not for the reasons that we are being fed by other humans. Okay. It's not about the carbon and methane and stuff like that. That is not the reason. No. We're missing the whole point. There's a whole gamut of other reasons why we're destroying things, like uranium. Mining uranium out of the earth is actually taking away the power source of the earth, that it needs to be in the ground, and we're destroying Earth's power source.
And iridium. I mean, there's a lot of these so-called rare minerals.
Yeah,
we're
a lot of the mining is doing damage.
Mining it, and we're destroying.
And we're doing a lot of damage to the atmosphere through the radio frequencies and the HAARP program and all that. So they have to turn on all relevant DNA and push us forward to a point where we can acquire the knowledge and the wisdom to be able to correct the course that we're on. Okay. That's the bottom line.
Yeah, there we go.
And so
we're talking
with this change in the electromagnetic field is stretching the DNA so that these protein markers can be placed on the DNA to turn on all relevant DNA so that they can bring us forward in our level of understanding.
Early on in my meditations, years ago, we were told that the foods to help us in this movement.
Mhm.
And I said to help us will be spinach and asparagus because it contains the nutrients that
They're micronutrients
that we need to help us move
to
into this
facilitate
sphere.
the placement of the
Yeah.
markers, the protein markers.
So
Yeah.
this will have an effect on our chemical and neurological systems, increasing the ability to process information by fourfold, 4 times.
That'd be pretty amazing.
Yeah, so allowing humanity to understand the new information that we're going to receive from extraterrestrial beings.
Mhm. So we will have a reconnection with our extraterrestrial brothers and sisters.
It's a matter of time before
They are here.
Yeah.
They are still arriving. This is a huge, enormous coordinated effort by the extraterrestrial community, by the spiritual community. And they are directing the change in coordination with these natural events that are occurring now. They will make themselves known, and it has been in our experience that they have a genuine interest in helping humanity, not the opposite.
Not all of them.
Not all of them are, there's some groups of extraterrestrials that are disgruntled that humanity continues to exist because there was a contract basically, or an understanding way back before they developed the humans, that it was going to be a short-term experiment, and that it would eventually, the experiment would come to an end. Humanity would either come to an end or be upgraded. I'm not sure. And that something happened to prevent that from occurring. And so humanity being at the level we are, and destructive as we are, has caused kind of a bitter taste within the mouths of these other extraterrestrial entities who feel like we are not only destroying the earth, but that destructive vibration, that negative vibration is
to
being
reach out into their area.
it's being exuded out into space, and it's affecting other things. So
all events occurring that are happening are intended to destroy our misperceptions.
Mhm. These are the human created events.
So with that,
so we're being called to look at the truth. This is part of our awakening. This is a part of all these other changes that are happening now.
So we have to understand this and to help our friends out from outside of Earth.
Who are going to be helping us.
Yes, they're going to be helping us. We have to understand that. So these movies that come out
trying to frighten us that we're going to be invaded.
It's not going to work.
And also, there's a lot of talk lately about a red flag event where there's going to be a false alien invasion that's going to be propagated by the government. I have no idea if that has any truth to it, but we know
false flag events.
Yeah, we know that through our communications that there are extraterrestrials already here. There are some that are in their ships outside of our atmosphere, that are waiting for the electromagnetic field to change for whatever reason, and there's more coming. And so these are friendlies, and they are here with a genuine desire to help humanity. So just keep that in mind.
Help humanity move forward, trying to.
So our
trying to rebalance us.
Yeah, they're going to help bring us forward. Our own shift within, which is when we start to have that reconnection with the higher self, which is part of the soul that guides our learning
Which
process.
gives us a reconnection with the Creator.
Yeah, so that's our link to the Creator. That shift will happen when our obsessions are with ourselves. We're just completely consumed with ourselves. And we reach this point of desperation because of everything that's going on at the same time. It's a very chaotic environment. We have atmospheric changes, we have earth changes, we have lots of catastrophic events. We have lots of human created chaos, and we have people who are being affected by the electromagnetic field, and they have this bizarre behavior, and so this is going to culminate to a point of total desperation for people, in which point we reach out to the Creator. And this is a part of the process because we've become so secularized that we don't think about God anymore. And the religion has become the green technology or whatever.
Or those are fighting their religion is better than somebody else's religion.
Yeah. It's the ideologies that are clashing.
The ideologies are collapsing, trying.
Well,
we're all supposed to be with the Creator. I don't care if you put these other people in the mix up in the group. If you all just go with the belief in the Creator and the plan and the guidance, then you'll be fine to humble yourself before the Creator. Now, these other people are representatives. They're representatives of the Creator. They're
including
not the
Jesus.
Including Jesus, Muhammad, they're representatives.
So they volunteered to come here to help deliver the message for God. However, humanity has shelved these people up to a higher level than they actually are, and then they are actually recognized in the spiritual realm. And so now we hear that Jesus is God. Jesus is not God. And
Muhammad is not God.
And I don't think that they've ever professed Muhammad to be God. They have always indicated that he was like a teacher.
This includes Buddha and stuff like that.
Yeah.
These are all representatives.
These are all people who volunteered to come here to help bring the light being the understanding.
People have not learned.
Right. And so we have to put things in the right perspective, and the Creator is at the top.
Yeah, so we've got to realize this is why these things are happening.
It's all to rebalance everything.
Yeah.
Our thinking, the earth, humanity, everything is about rebalancing. But in all of the turmoil, as everything, and this is the other thing, the institutions are crumbling, the old paradigm is crumbling. So we have lots and lots of chaos culminating at this period of time, and we become obsessed with our own security and who we are, and obsessed with our belief systems and what we believed and what we become very confused. We reach out to God. We have that reconnection with our higher self.
But you have to humble yourself before you can do that.
Yeah. And that is our connection to the Creator. This is our shift. This is huge. And it also takes place when the planetary alignments are correct. And that includes Neptune with the outer planets.
So get in touch with yourself. Go out in nature. Put your bare feet on the ground and feel the vibrational and energy coming up from Earth. Earth is trying to speak to us. Earth is trying to talk to us, but we are not listening. We are trying to put ourselves prior to Earth. In other words, we're more important than Earth, we think.
Now, I want to bring something up. How many people, and just make a comment down in this comments below, how many of you are having strange physical sensations, like these little sensations in your legs, maybe, most likely your legs, vibrating, sense of vibrating, especially at nighttime or when you wake up in the morning, you feel like your body's vibrating. These are all a change in your vibration. You are being upgraded. And so we're just kind of curious as to how many people are going through these physical changes that
Are taking
are a
place.
result of our vibration being upgraded.
Well, with that, um, yeah,
So
contact us.
yeah, and so
And
when we get back to, and I mentioned this earlier, how our thinking process is being manipulated and downgraded, they told us to wear a resonance of a higher vibration. So, how do you do that? Nature vibrates at a higher level. Get out in nature and put your bare feet on the ground. Let the
do
earth.
not put it on a red anthill. A red anthill, you don't really know what they do.
Earth's vibrations will reach up and through your feet and up through your body and help to raise your vibration. Take time out to calm, bring inner calm inside, meditate, and just try to observe what's going on in the world through an obscure glass, like you're not looking at it all real clear. Try to remain neutral, try to remain open to new ideas. Try to steer away from ideologies. We're moving away from that. Move to the center so that you can see the whole picture.
If you can.
It's hard if you're hard left or you're hard right, you've got your blinders on. You're not going to see the whole picture. And so, and then prepare for food and water, and that's about all we can do.
Yeah, that's all we can do right now.
Have clothing, make sure you got enough clothes, and be prepared to ride this out.
So with that, thanks for being with us, tolerating our expounding resources.
Yeah, thank you for hanging in there with us. And if you find this video useful, please pass it on to someone else who might be interested also. And hit the like button, subscribe, because now we are starting to push this information out. It is time.
It is time.
Thank you for joining us. Peace be with you on your journey to enlightenment.
Take care.
Have a great day.